All right, let's talk about something incredibly important: basic life support, or BLS. Now, this isn't about complicated medical stuff. It's about a few powerful, simple actions that literally anyone, and yes, I mean you, can take to be the difference between life and death in an emergency.
So, why is this so urgent? Well, it all comes down to this number: 4 to 6 minutes. After someone's heart stops, that's the window you have before serious, irreversible brain damage can start to set in. Your actions, right then and there, are what bridge that critical gap until the professionals can arrive.
So, what is BLS really? Think of it as your emergency playbook. It's not just for doctors or nurses. It's a set of steps designed for everybody, for you and me, to keep someone's blood and oxygen moving when they can't. It's about giving you the power to act with confidence when every single second counts.
Now, I know this can seem like a lot to take in, but honestly, the whole thing boils down to these three simple ideas. We call it the chain of survival, and each link is just as crucial as the next. We're going to walk through each one step by step so you have a clear map of exactly what to do.
Okay, let's dive into section 1. It all begins with two very simple but very important actions: check and call. How you handle these first few moments can set the stage for everything that follows. Before you rush in, stop. Take a breath and look around you. Is there traffic, a fire, any live electrical wires? Your safety is priority number 1, always. Because you can't help anyone if you get hurt too. Don't become the second victim. Once you're sure the scene is safe, then you approach the person. You're going to want to tap them firmly on the shoulders and shout nice and loud, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" You're looking for absolutely any kind of response: a movement, a sound, anything. This quick check tells you if they're conscious or not.
If you get nothing, no response at all, you need to get help on the way immediately. Here in Kenya, that means calling your local emergency number or the nearest hospital. And here's a pro tip: if you have your phone, call them and put it on speaker. That way your hands are free. If there are other people around, don't just yell into the crowd. Point to one person and say, "You in the red shirt, call for an ambulance now." Being direct gets things done way faster. Okay, this next check is so important, and you've only got about 10 seconds to do it. Are they breathing normally? Look for their chest gently rising and falling. But listen, and this is the part people often get wrong: those weird, slow, noisy gasps or gurgling sounds, that is not normal breathing. That is a sign of cardiac arrest, and it means you need to start CPR right away. All right, now we're getting to the absolute core of basic life support. We're talking about high-quality chest compressions. This is the single most important thing you can do to keep blood flowing to the brain. So where do your hands go? You want to find the center of the chest, right on the breastbone. Place the heel of one hand there, then put your other hand right on top of it. Now, lock your arms straight, get your shoulders directly over your hands, and get ready to use your body weight. You're basically going to act like a piston. If you only remember 2 things from this whole section, make it these 2 words: push hard and push fast. This is your mantra. This is the key to doing it right. Let's get a little more specific. How fast? You're aiming for a rate of about 100 to 120 compressions a minute. It's kind of like the beat of the song Staying Alive. How hard? For an adult, you need to push down at least 5 centimeters. And just as important, you have to let the chest come all the way back up after every single push. That's called recoil, and it's what lets the heart actually fill back up with blood. This right here is critically important. Think about it. Every single time you pause, the blood flow to the brain just stops. Your goal is to be a relentless human pump. You have to keep those compressions going, steady and strong, with as few breaks as possible. Okay, moving on. Compressions are the engine of all this, right? Now let's talk about a couple of your support tools that can make a huge difference: rescue breaths and a special device called an AED. Now, you might be thinking, but what about giving breaths? And look, if you haven't been trained how to do it or you're just not comfortable, don't worry about it. Just keep doing those chest compressions. Non-stop, hands-only CPR is incredibly effective, and it is way better than doing nothing at all. But what if you look around and you see one of those boxes on the wall? You know, the ones that say AED? Well, that's an automated external defibrillator. And let me tell you, that thing is a total game changer. The most important thing for you to know about an AED is that anyone can use it. You do not need to be a doctor. These devices are literally designed for the general public. They talk to you. They will walk you through every single step of the process. Using an AED is so straightforward.
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Seriously, first, you turn it on. It'll start talking to you right away. Second, you stick the pads on the person's bare chest, just like the pictures on the pad show you. And third, you just listen. Do exactly what the voice tells you to do. The machine does all the thinking for you.
Okay, let's get real for a second and talk about some of the common slip-ups and, more importantly, some of the fears that can hold us back from actually stepping in to help.
So here are a few things to watch out for. A big one is forgetting to call for help first. Get that started. Then, not pushing deep enough. Don't be timid. You need to push hard. Stopping too often is another one. Keep that rhythm going. And finally, make sure you're not leaning on the chest between pushes, because that chest has to recoil all the way. This right here addresses the single biggest fear that stops people. What if I hurt them? What if I'm wrong and they don't need CPR? The official guidelines are crystal clear on this. If someone is unresponsive and not breathing normally, you start CPR. The risk of delaying is far, far greater than the risk of starting. Always, always choose to act. Now, real quick, what if it's a child or an infant? The goal is exactly the same, but the technique is just a little different. For a child, you might only need one hand instead of two. And for a tiny infant, you're just going to use 2 fingers right in the center of the chest. The goal is the same though. Push hard and push fast to keep that blood moving.
So let's bring this all home. This is more than just a list of medical steps. This is really a message of empowerment.
At the end of the day, here's the most important thing I can tell you. Your hands can save a life. The person who might need this the most is probably a loved one, and the person most likely to be there to help them is you. You are the first and most critical link in that chain of survival. So please, learn this, practice it, and share this knowledge. Be prepared and have the confidence to act. You can be the difference.